the South's reaction to the assassination. What do the people in the South think about this? That's what we're going to ask. Okay? The South's reaction. Caleb, my dear, what do you think the South's reaction is going to be to the Lincoln assassination? Considering some of the things we maybe already talked about. Some of the things that Lincoln said about Reconstruction before his assassination, how do you think the South feels about it? It's either, you can't give it back. And most people think they would be happy because God, he was Lincoln, the South, right? Actually, actually Austin Sherman might have been the first kid ever in my life that actually said the right thing in all the years I've been teaching. Says most people think the South would be happy. Well, Sherman mentioned today, he said, well, didn't Abraham Lincoln have a pretty good plan for the South? Wasn't he going to make it easy for him to get in as citizens and states? Weren't the radical Republicans kind of mad at him over that? And that's the truth. Actually, the South was quite shocked and saddened by his assassination because they knew his plan for Reconstruction was pretty kind. And, of course, they didn't know what the next person's plan for Reconstruction would be, right? Did you get in the video? Did we get that far in the video where the power went out, where the guy said that Lincoln's plan was called Reconstruction and Johnson's plan was Restoration? Yeah. A little bit of difference in those words if you look them up in the dictionary, okay? I don't know if you remember, we talked about Confederate General Joe Johnston. That would not be the one that died, that was shot in the leg and they didn't get the tourniquet on him. But Joe Johnston, the other Confederate general, when he heard about Lincoln's assassination, his quote was, "We have lost our best friend." That's what a Confederate general said when he heard about the Lincoln assassination. He said, quote, "We have lost our best friend." Because as we mentioned, Lincoln's plan for the South was much more generous than the plans of others who are going to take control at this time, which will be our next topic when we get into this. Because who's going to be responsible now for restoring the Union? Andrew Johnson. Now, this is kind of interesting. Johnson is going to follow Lincoln's plan because he's a Southerner. He would like to see Southerners treated properly. But who's he going to get in trouble from? Radical Republicans, to the point that they are going to make enough of a stink with him that he's going to be impeached by the House and tried by the Senate in our first impeachment trial in American history. And we'll tell you how that comes out. The Radical Republicans are going to try to remove him from office because they do not want him to be kind to the South. That'll be our next bit of information. So here's kind of what's going on. How many of you will not be here tomorrow for absolute sure? High in the air so I can see. Okay. How many will not be here on Friday? Hands in the air.